up, beautiful black people? It's your girl, Cookie, your everyday therapist.
It's Kenyatta, a couples therapist at Atlanta Couple Therapy.
And it's Dr. Lewis, psychologist, founder of Atlanta Couple Therapy.
Welcome to If I Was Your Therapist, where we break down your favorite black movies.
We give advice as therapists.
And we provide strategies for your everyday life issues.
Now, today we're digging into soul food. So, who's first? Do we want to go toward a child? Do we want to go for a person?
I think we need to.
First on the docket, we have Maxine. Now, if you remember, she's the second to oldest. What I really took from her character was she was Big Mama second in coming. So she was who was going to be taking the space of Big Mama. She was there to take care of her, as well as the uncle, the older uncle that was in the house. So while Terry, the oldest sister, was left to go fight for her dreams, go become a lawyer, do all the things she wanted to, I don't think people really took into consideration that Maxine stayed at home. Mm-hmm. She made sure that the fort stayed together. She made sure that the family was solid, or whatever the case may be. Yeah. And that relates to a lot of people. They may not be the oldest, but they're the ones who are keeping the family together, and that may be a lot for a lot of people to have to really endure. What I really noticed about her was her challenge with balancing things. She never really had her own identity. Her identity was the family, and that's something that you have to be mindful of. What are your likes? What are your dislikes? What are your hobbies? Because if you don't cultivate those things, you'll lose yourself easily. Something else that I thought was very interesting was her hint of resentment. I thought that she really felt like she could do a lot of things, like, for one, taking Terry's boyfriend. You literally went on a double date with your sister.
That was the issue that I had, and I'll talk more about the Terry character later. But why does she have to... all these men in the world, but her sister though? I feel like it's some rules there. What do you think?
No, I do feel like there was some rules there, but in all honesty, I had to go back. Okay. And I had to watch that scene. Mm-hmm. And at the end of that scene, that man chose up. He made his choice.
Those are facts.
And what I think people had to take in consideration, that Maxine was a little bit more free. Mm-hmm. She was a little bit more effortless, fun, engaging. If you go back and look at the scene where they were skating, and Terry was more meticulous. She was trying to be strategic. She was really trying to learn it, whereas Maxine was out there having a time.
Her life.
She was a whole vibe, and he was attracted to that.
Right.
But true. I really feel like that was not a good sisterly move.
At all. She was dead wrong.
Would be mindful.
Don't try this at home.
Please don't.
Please don't date nobody man outside of the circle.
But to be fair, guys, she was not friends with Terry. You say sisterly vibes and sisterly expectations and the girl code. There was not that between this. Like that wasn't point. That
they didn't have that bond,
no.
But just off the strength of the blood.
No, for sure.
Morals and values look different for everyone.
That's a good point.
No, for sure.
I just didn't really appreciate that about her. And yeah, you're right. Values are different for each person.
Yeah, and I honestly feel like we kind of seen that through the duration of the movie. Mm-hmm. What was their true passions? As we saw, Maxine's with her family, and Terry's was her career, and that's what I feel like kind of played out. A specific intervention that I would like to add for Maxine was a support group. I wanted her to join, or I would suggest someone in Maxine's situation to find a support group or cultivate their own support group of people that are taking care of the elders in their family. Yes. So that you can relate to other people that are going through that. You guys can create a community, and you can come up with hobbies that are similar, because you might not even know your hobbies. I think Maxine possibly was a homework maker since she was a child, so I don't even think she really explored all those things. So giving her that room to explore them. You're more than a mom. Mm-hmm. You're a woman first.
Yeah. And mental health, we call that a parentified sibling. Like she was kind of put into that parent kind of role. And in some ways, it was good for her because she was able to keep the family together. Maybe not good for her, but good for the family to be able to stay connected.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
And I love what you're saying as far as like who she is and what she needs and needing a support group. sometimes being the caregiver is even harder than the person that you're caring for.
For sure.
Yeah.
And so
that's true.
I see that a lot with my clients of they're having to take care of their children, their parents, and that brings a certain level of stress. Terry didn't have that burden. So of course there was a level of resentment. So in treatment, that's something to address.
Yeah. And it's interesting how you worded she didn't have that burden, because I think that so often in life, like, we're making choices. We're deciding to take on some of these roles. And just like you decide to take on some of these roles, you can also make a new decision of, I am releasing myself from taking on all these responsibilities. Yeah.
You can always go to coupletheory.com and sign up for a therapy session with one of these, or go to my Instagram, Cook's Neighborhood, and swipe up. That has been If I Was Your Therapist. See you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
Everything disgusting.